Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, of course, last few videos we've talked about the police and the NHS and how there is no funding available, how they have no money because they keep spending it on other things. And what we got here is an example not only of them spending it on other things, but in this case, spending it on things that are not only not necessary, completely unnecessary, but actually are actively harming the people of Scotland simply by spending the money on it. And it's not money that they're going to continue to spend. Oh no, siree, Bob. This is money that they are increasing the budget for. You cannot increase the budget for the NHS or the police or education. But foreign embassies that aren't really embassies, oh, there's plenty of money for them. Because it's jobs for the boys, and let's piss public money all over the place to make sure our chums are well looked after. It is disgusting. It should be made illegal. It's only the British embassies that should be funded, not Scottish pretendy embassies. And it's pointless because they don't have any legal diplomatic standing. These people effectively in the world of democracy or in diplomacy don't even exist. Let's take a look at this dreadful, woeful waste of money. Here goes. So staff at the SNP's pretendy foreign embassies, which are no such thing at all, explode from just 8 in 2016 to more than 50 today, and more are going to be employed. Why? What do these people actually do? Everything that you need if you're travelling the world can be done via the British Embassy. The Scottish Embassy has no standing. It has no right to anything. It doesn't exist in terms of any kind of having a diplomats or ambassadors or anything like that. There's no legal standing for a Scottish ambassador. That's covered by the British ambassador. So other than spending money needlessly, giving all their chums these little jobs all abroad, hey, go and work here for a few years. Yeah, great money. Oh, we'll give you 70,000 a year and you can go and live in wherever, pick country of your choice, and you can pretend to be important as you don't actually do anything. But hey, it's the people of Scotland who are paying. You know, the ones that are dying in hospital, they're paying. That's what this is. Anyway, the Scottish Government was blasted for its rapid expansion of international offices since Nicola Sturgeon took office, with overseas employees more than tripling from just 8 to more than 50, with a new base in Warsaw still to be opened before 2026. Now, come 2026 and the new government take over with a bit of luck, and it'll be a Labour government probably, the first action the Labour government, when they get in there to do, is to close all these offices. If they own them, sell them. If they don't, stop paying the rent, and fire every one of these people and say, right, with immediate effect, you're fired. And then send them on their way. Doesn't matter where. We don't care. Why should the taxpayer pay these people to do a job that doesn't even technically exist? Anyway, the Scottish Government has been blasted after it was revealed the number of taxpayer-funded employees at their, quote, foreign embassies, but they're no such thing, had exploded from just 8 in 2016-17 to more than 50 now, and this total is about to rise even further due to ministers' plans to open up a 10th international office in Warsaw. Previously, the SNP executive had come under fire for operating the overseas sites at all, despite not having the power over foreign affairs. And the bill for these establishments is £8.9 million 2023-24, with it hitting a high of £9 million last year. And going to get bigger because they're adding another office. So that is another 10% rise, plus all the extra people that you're not only having to pay, but you have to contribute to their pensions for, out of public money. Now, if you're looking at, say, now 10 million a year, how many doctors and nurses is that? Seriously, 10 million will buy a lot of doctors and nurses, wouldn't it? Unbelievable. Now, the Scottish Daily Express can reveal the full scale of expansion of the offices over the last 7 years, with the number of employees almost at a record high. When Nicola Sturgeon came to power in 2014, she helped to establish 2 premises, one in Beijing and one in Washington. Well, Beijing, of course, because she works for the Beijing government, doesn't she? Remember all that thing at the Win Phuc, or whatever it was called, that Chinese restaurant where the Chinese secret police were operating from, fully under the auspices and knowledge of the SNP. The SNP are actually traitors if they are allowing foreign countries like China, access to the country without authority from the UK government to operate secret police in the country that they knew about, that would be treason. So why do they need one in China? What's their close alignment from China, apart from possibly all the money they may be receiving, maybe, allegedly? Rumour has it. Got to be careful. Anyway, in 2018-19, 6 more sites officially became live, including the flagship Scotland House in Brussels. And again, nobody knows why. This was open to forge links between the EU and the SNP executive following Brexit, even though there's no way Scotland will be going back in. Because first of all, it would have to be independent, not going to happen. Then it would have to be allowed in by the EU, not going to happen. I look at you, Spain and Catalonia. It is a few yards away from the European Commission's huge Berlaymont headquarters and claims to help companies access EU funding and contacts and policy development information. The office at 6 Ronpont Schumann in the city has a yearly rent of £500,000. £500,000 rent on a property that does nothing. But it does mean that these tossers can go, oh look how important we feel. This makes us look really important because we have to be. Because we are pointless, powerless, impotent, stupid morons. New offices were also opened in Berlin, Ottawa, Paris, Dublin and London, with the employee headcount more than tripling from just 8 to 46. Brussels was the main culprit for this, with 12 new workers hired, while 10 took their jobs in England's capital, all at public expense. And why do they need, why does Scotland need an embassy in London? Surely they own a telephone, or can just get on the train, or phone the Scottish office. It's all bullshit and it's all jobs for the boys. Look who these people are and see what their relationships are with the people who are allegedly employing them. In 2019-2020, the employee number rose to 43 thanks to new hires in both London and Belgium, and then increased by 2 the year after, before actually dropping by 3 in 2022-23. Somebody got ill, who knows. However, the ribbon was cut for the new office in Copenhagen last year by special guest Nicola Sturgeon, which cost another £500,000 a year to maintain. Money pissed away for pointless reasons, and yet people in Scotland can't see a doctor, they can't employ policemen, the schools are falling apart. But hey, you know, those tossers with their tiny cocks get to go, look, we've got an office in Brussels. It should be made illegal. They should be told they have to close them. If we had a government minister with a pair of balls, he'd do it. Anyway, the Constitution Secretary Angus Robertson confirmed in Holyrood earlier this month they will be opening a 10th office in Warsaw before the end of the parliamentary term in 2026, meaning even more cash will be wasted abroad. The Scottish Tories criticised the number of employees working abroad and the amount of money being spent running these pointless overseas offices. Scottish Conservatives Deputy Constitution, External Affairs and Cultural Spokesman Alexander Stewart told the Scottish Daily Express this huge expansion in overseas staff will dismay the public, particularly given the SNP government are imposing swingeing cuts on essential services. Yes, because they aren't essential to the SNP. Health, don't care. Education, screw them. You know, social care, what's that? Don't know. But hey, independence, yeah, that's important. Independence. And of course, not forgetting that important thing, independence. And that's all they concentrate on. And the people of Scotland are dying, literally dying, because the SNP focus on independence and don't focus on doing their damn job. And when, I hope, and I really mean this to the SNP supporters who watch this, I know they hate watch me, but watch it. Ask yourself this: when your granny goes into hospital and dies because she can't get the treatment she needs, look to your foreign embassies and go, well, hey, that granny died so that a mate of Humza Yousaf's can have a nice cushy $70,000 a year job in Brussels. Not doing anything, but hey, you know, it doesn't matter. It's only granny. Fuck her. Because that's exactly what the SNP are doing to you. Anyway, Scottish Liberal Democratic economy spokesperson Willie Rennie said no one could object to the Scottish Government promoting Scotland's world-class food and drink and boosting Scottish business abroad, providing the benefits are outweighing the costs. No, that's fine. You know, send an email, send them a picture. You don't need to open up £500,000 a year offices and fill it with wastrels and hangers on and chums of your mate. You know? He said if any of these roles are simply related to propagandising for the breakup of the UK abroad, that would be a serious misuse of taxpayer money. People should go to jail. I really think this is basically misuse of public funds. That's a jailable offence. And indeed, ancient Greece had the best result of this. If you did anything like this in ancient Greece, they used to do a thing called the boats. And what it was is they'd put you in a boat and they'd smear you. They'd tie you to the boat. They'd smear you in honey and make you drink tons and tons of milk. You weren't released. This was it. This is how you died. And what would happen is, as you sat there and the milk would run through you and you shit yourself and all this, and you just lay in your own filth, and all that honey would attract the insects, and then they just put another boat on top. Two little, little flat boats, small boats. They put you in there, did all this, they put the other boat on top, tied it up, that was it. And then you kept you in there. And then you stayed in there, and then the ants came, and the bugs came, and everything came, and slowly ate you. And that's what you did if you misused public funds in ancient Greece. I'm thinking that's a perfectly acceptable punishment in this day and age for tossers like this. Isn't going to happen, but we can dream. Anyway, I shall stop there and come up. We'll round off and finish the video. So there you go, £10 million a year tossed away on a pointless exercise just to boost the egos of sad, inadequate people who live in Holyrood. What a sad, sad bunch they truly are. But the worst of it, of course, is £10 million a year would make a hell of a difference to the NHS. Massive difference. It would bring down waiting lists. Still, people keep voting for them. Why? It's almost as though they don't care what they're doing to Scotland. The people voting for them are as stupid as the people in the SNP, aren't they? I mean, you've got to be pretty thick to vote for the SNP when you see what the SNP are doing to you. So, knock yourselves out. But when Granny dies, at least, like I say, be thankful you've got a foreign embassy to send her ashes to. Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and for heaven's sake, get rid of these people and their wastefulness. Bye.